Today I'm going to show you how to set up your GoPro for motocross to help you get the best shots possible and come away with footage a bit like this. For those of you that subscribe to the 999 Lazy YouTube channel, you'll know that we make all of our own videos, and over the years we've captured some amazing GoPro footage. Our cameras have been lucky enough to take rides with some of the sport's most legendary names and capture some of the best racing in the world. We've been on rides with the likes of Jeffrey Herlings, Max Anstey, Ricky Carmichael, Kurt Nichol, Evgeny Bobashev, the Watson brothers, Robbie Madison, and of course Neville Bradshaw. Head cam since the pre-GoPro days, and we've been able to earn tens of millions of views using these awesome little devices. It's safe to say that we've learned a lot over the years, and over time we've tried and experimented with the best way to set a GoPro up in order to capture the ultimate moto content. In this video I'm going to be sharing with you our best and most valuable tips to help you set up your GoPro for moto. I'll also put some links in the description down below to some accessories that we use to help turn your GoPro into the ultimate dirt bike filming weapon. Tip number 1, mounting the GoPro. First up is the mount that we use to put these little suckers onto a helmet. These cameras ain't cheap, so we've always preferred to use a genuine GoPro mount. This is for two reasons. Firstly, we don't want to risk losing our GoPro on the track by using a cheaper alternative that may not use the best adhesive. But if I'm being honest, you'd be very unlucky if you picked up an aftermarket sticky pad that didn't stick just as well as a genuine mount. So the main reason that I prefer to steer clear of non-genuine mounts is because when I did try a cheaper alternative, I found that there was a little bit of play in the fitting when the camera was attached. You can just tell that they haven't been produced using the genuine GoPro molds. This play in the attachment can be really annoying for the rider. They can tell that there's something wobbling on their head, it's distracting and honestly not ideal at all. This wobble also ruins footage with increased vibrations and extra and unwanted movements. So yeah, tip number 1. Stay genuine. I've added a link in the description below to where you can pick up some genuine GoPro mounts. Tip number 2, recording format. The specifications of these cameras have increased dramatically over the years, and since the GoPro Hero 3, they've all been capable of filming in glorious 1080 HD. Although the newer GoPros are capable of going much higher than that, we're talking 4K, I personally don't recommend going that high for moto. Filming in 4K gives you insane quality and awesome detail, and it looks absolutely amazing on the big screen. But the truth is, most devices that people are watching on aren't 4K capable, and they're probably about this big. So 4K can be a bit over the top for those scenarios. Also, from a creator standpoint, 4K isn't too user friendly. The file sizes are massive. If you're going to be filming your 30-minute plus 2 moto in 4K, your memory card certainly won't be lasting too long. 4K will also take longer to download and process, as well as filling up your hard drives much faster. So for these reasons, if your final output is going to be YouTube or Facebook, we recommend that you set your GoPro to film in 1080p. Your image will still be crispy and delectable whilst keeping your file sizes manageable. Tip number 3, frame rate. Since the Hero 3, all GoPros have been able to film in both 25 FPS and 50 FPS. The newer GoPros can even go much higher than that. We have always chosen to shoot our moto footage at 50 frames per second. We just feel that it gives a crisper, nicer looking image for the high speed action. It also gives you the option to slow down your footage by half if the final output of your film is going to be 25 FPS. Although I have to say the newer GoPros allow you to shoot in much higher frame rates. I think the GoPro Hero 8 allows you to shoot 240 FPS at 1080. So if you're after some buttery smooth slow-mo in HD, you might want to bump up your frame rates from time to time. But be warned, your file sizes will be larger and the higher frame rate will affect the quality of your image in low light situations. But to conclude this point, the best way to shoot most moto scenarios is to go for 1080 50 FPS. Tip number 4, mounting position. This tip is a double header and is really important. The worst thing ever is shooting too much of the ground or too much of the sky. The perfect GoPro shot will show a little of the front fender, a little bit of the peak, maybe with a sponsored logo in there, while still being able to see a long way down the track in front of you. Now the setup is slightly different from the original Hero to the Hero 6 than it is on the 7 and the 8, so listen up to this one. Firstly, the position of the mount is crucial. We often see mounts positioned right at the front of the helmet. This is a big no-no. You just won't get the best view and the footage will also be less stable. The perfect position to mount a GoPro on your helmet is the crown. This is where the GoPro is best balanced on your head. Some helmets like the Aeros need a special mount because they're a weird shape, but most brands like the Fox, the Bells, the Arais, they can all accommodate the GoPro mount in the correct position right on the top of your head. And this transitions into tip number 5, the angle of the camera. This is where things differ slightly from the older GoPros to the newer GoPros. From the GoPro Hero 1 to the GoPro Hero 5, this is the angle that we recommend. In this case, if your mount is placed in the right spot on the top of your head, then your GoPro can be angled pretty much straight and you'll get the perfect shot. However, the angle is slightly different for the GoPro 7 and 8 compared to the older models. This is because in order to stabilise the footage using hyper-smooth technology, the final image is actually slightly cropped in. This means that on the GoPro Hero 7 and GoPro Hero 8, you actually need to angle back the camera slightly more in order to get that same desired view. So just keep that in mind next time you're whacking your GoPro on your lead. Tip number 6, sound. For the older generations up until the GoPro Hero 4, we recommend using the open rear door for moto. The audio from these older cameras is actually really good and totally usable. The rear door just lets in more of those luscious two-stroke tones and prevents that muffled sound effect. However, the audio on the newer GoPros for moto is absolutely trash. For the GoPro Hero 7 and GoPro Hero 8, you need to buy yourself a wind slayer, which is this foam cover, and also change some settings in your camera, otherwise your sound will just be absolutely unusable. I've already made a full video on how you can fix the audio on your GoPro Hero 7, so I'll link to that down below, and I'll also include a link to where you can pick up a wind slayer. If you follow our tutorial, you'll completely transform the audio capabilities of your GoPro Hero 7 or your GoPro Hero 8 for motocross. Tip number 7, batteries. Genuine GoPro batteries are pretty pricey, and if you're anything like us, you're going to be needing a whole load of them to keep you going for an entire weekend. To save a bit of wedge, which I can then spend on genuine GoPro mounts, we found that Smatree batteries work just as well for a fraction of the price. I've included an Amazon link below so you can check those out. We've been using them for years now though, and we've never had a problem. So that's it for our top GoPro tips. I hope you found them useful and that they'll help you make some awesome moto movies. Make sure to tag me in your best moto clips at 2fastmedia group on Instagram. But for now though, my name's Max, this has been 999 Laser. Thanks for watching, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Till next time though, I'll see you at the track.